everyone. So this is episode 9. We always laugh because I have to read what Ventura puts me on the board because then I forget. Of the Real Talk with Claudia Mostaghasi, and I have Sara Azali with us today, and she's with Azali Homes. So I wanted to bring back new construction. So I know that as we start, we actually have seen some lower rates.
Right.
Recently. So, I mean, they fluctuate a lot. So they start, they were on the 7s and then you kind of like come down. But a lot of people have very crazy ideas when it comes to new construction. Mm-hmm. So they feel like they have to have all these money to put as a down payment, and then it's going to take like years to build. Right. And I mean, they have that like the conception is super crazy. So, we want to welcome you. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm great. Thanks so much. I'm excited to be here.
Good.
Thanks,
well, it's going to go super easy. We're just talking about the new construction. I want to make sure that people understand what's the process.
Right.
So, Azali Homes, how long have you guys been builders?
Yes. So, Azali Homes started in 1999. So, we've been in business over 20 years. We build in Corpus and surrounding areas. So at the moment, our primary subdivision is on the south side of Corpus off of Yorktown. And then we do have subdivisions in London, Portland, and Flower Bluff.
Oh, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So were you born in 1999?
Just barely. So my father started the business back then. And then I was fortunate enough about 3 years ago during the pandemic, I fell into the business. I had graduated from UT. I went to Austin for university. I studied finance over there. And then in 2020, I was working, and with the pandemic, I was told to come home because my job wasn't offering a position anymore because everyone was working remote. So we moved back home, and at the time, my father wasn't really doing much home building anymore. He was focusing more on multifamily. And so the opportunity came upon, it was me and my brother. He was also back from school at that time. Do we want to do this? And so we were excited about it. It was an opportunity that we took, a risk that we took, and it's been an amazing blessing. So just over 3 years, we've been building and growing the business. So
you and your brother,
yes.
How does that work? Because I mean, as siblings, like you fight all the time. Like I know, like I bully my brother. I have a younger brother. 3. Is he younger than you?
He's my younger brother. Okay. Yes.
So how does that work?
It's good. I mean, we get this question all the time, and it's a big blessing. I'm very fortunate to work with him. We work very well together. We've grown our team. We have a very young, driven team right now that we bounce ideas off of each other, and we help one another. Times get very stressful, but it's nice to have somebody that I can lean on, and I have amazing mentors within the family that have helped us grow over the last few years.
Who's on your team? So who's Azali Homes team? Like how many people work?
Yes. So at the moment we have 8 staff. My brother and I, we manage our staff. We have a supervisor that's been working with the company for almost 15 years. We have a couple other supervisors, and then we have an in-house designer, an architect, sales members, and then accountant. So
that architect is actually from where I am from.
Yes, she's from Monterrey.
She's from Monterrey. When I met her, it was funny because we were both like talking English, and then I'm like, wait, like you don't have an accent, and because she was like, where are you from? And I'm like, I'm from Monterrey. And she's like, me too. And I'm like, but you don't have an accent.
Yeah, she goes back and forth, but she grew up there and then moved to Corpus for high school, and then
she went to school over here, and it's crazy because you can still hear my accent very heavily, and she's just like nothing, transparent. So if somebody would come, so let's say I'm a buyer, what's the process? Like what would be my first step to reach out to you? Like after I reach out to you, like how would it work?
The process. So the biggest thing we tell our clients is to come to our model home. That's the first step, whether it be through an open house or just calling our office and setting up an appointment. That way we can get information on what they're looking for, whether it be the square footage, the size, their timeline, their budget. And then from there, we can show them different properties, whether it be physically walking the house together or showing them renders and floor plans. That way we can get an idea of exactly what they're looking for. And then from there, if they decide that they want to build with us, we can show them a couple options. Either they go with a home that's already under construction, and that will expedite the timeline, or they can do a full new build. And so with that, you do get the benefit of choosing all of your own finishes and choosing your floor plan and lot. But at the same time, that timeline takes about 6 months versus a spec home. It can take either move-in ready, or it can be like just a couple months.
How's your inventory right now? I mean, how many, like if people are looking to buy a new construction home, like, do they, like, how much inventory do you have that it would be ready, say 3-4 months from now?
So we are continuing like the process. So we have different homes in different stages. So at any given point, there's about 30 to 40 homes under construction. So at the moment we're building around 80 homes a year. So there's different options for clients. If they want something that's move-in ready soon, we have those options available. And then if somebody wants to do something where they choose their plan, choose their lot, we have that flexibility as well.
Now, will you call these, like, is it custom homes? Am I going to come to you and I can actually say, hey, I kind of like want my bedroom on this area or the kitchen this way? Or is it set floor plans that you already have?
So we offer a semi-custom process. So we have over 25 different floor plans to choose from. And then within those floor plans, people can choose one that they like, but we also allow them to make some modifications. So since we do have an in-house designer and architect, if somebody wants to move a wall or move a sink or make some modifications within the floor plan, we can do that. And the timeline is pretty fast. So they still have the option to build in a really reasonable time frame, but they have that personalization option as well.
And I think that's big because I don't like, I mean, I always make the joke, and I'm sorry for, like, I'm not going to say names, but, you know, sometimes when you go to those subdivisions, like literally every other house is the same house. I'm like, you can't go out and drink because you might come to the neighbor's house and feel just like home. So that's good that you can actually pick the selections. So you get to pick like brick and colors and everything. Do you help with that?
Yes. So we do have an in-house design selections room, and then we have our designer that will help educate and guide our clients through that process. So it's a really exciting time. We know that people are investing a lot of money in this purchase. So if we can allow them to feel comfortable knowing that they can make those small adjustments and it's not going to be a huge expense for them, then we're going to do it. So they can choose exterior finishes, whether they want stone, stucco, brick, roof color. They can choose interior, everything, tile, shower walls, backsplash, paint colors, countertops. I mean, we have lots of options. Exactly.
So it's very customizable. What has been like one of the worst things that you have seen that you're like, oh my God, like that's not gonna look good?
You know, we joke about it sometimes people come in and they just have no idea, and it's okay because it's the first time that they're doing it. But Cindy she'll say, so we'll be doing a meeting and they're like, you know, we really want to go with this color and this, and she'll be like, are you sure you want to do that? And they're like, why, you don't think so? And she'll be like, I don't know, like, are you sure that that's like really what you want to do? And then at the end, the buyers come back and they're like, Cindy, thank you so much for telling us, like, you know, maybe that wasn't a good option, because we see it so many times. We know what comes together well. And when you don't see the product finalized, it's hard to envision it. And that's something that comes with practice and seeing things online that you like. So it's not always super easy.
I was laughing with that. Remember that house on also that they painted green or something, and everybody was like blasting.
Everyone was upset about it.
Everybody was like, why? I'm like, leave the people alone.
Yes,
they like green.
Choose what they want to choose. And that's what makes it nice. I mean, I can say that a lot about our communities is that because we allow that personalization, all the houses look different. You go through the neighborhood and you see the creativity, you see the ways that different people have pulled their ideas, and then not all the houses look the same. So that's something that we really pride ourselves in the community.
So what would be, I'm going to ask you for 2 recommendations for people that are out there looking for new construction. And let me just do a parenthesis there. So it's not true. You don't need 20% down. Like you can go in on new construction and literally percentage of earnest money that you ask?
So we do 3%.
3%.
Which is pretty standard for on the low end of deposits for lenders. And people sometimes get that misconception, okay, I have to put 3% with the builder and then X amount with my lender. No, that's not the case. Whatever you put down with us is what goes towards your deposit with your lender.
Right. So the deposit that you put with the builder, that's going to cover part of your down payment or closing costs. Let's say you're a VA and you don't have a down payment, then that will go directly to the closing cost. So you don't need that much money. I mean, it is tangible to build a brand new house, not have to worry about any of the other stuff like on the older house, right? So you guys offer the 210 warranty?
Yes, we do offer a 210 builder warranty with the new home. And that's something we really advocate to, is when people are looking to buy a new home, is vary the cost between new construction and a pre-owned home. If you can go with new construction, think about the long-term benefits. You don't have to worry as much about maintenance. You have a property that's appraising above what you're buying it for, or at that price. Your home will continue to appreciate as the neighborhood gets developed.
Correct.
As the area of town gets more and more completed. And that's something that we consider when we're starting new neighborhoods, is what are areas of town that are booming, they're growing, their schools are being built. And so people really like that idea, or feel comfortable putting in that financial investment, knowing that they're going to get equity and a return on it later in life.
Yeah, the appreciation. I mean, you see the whole appreciation of new construction is like, sometimes, most of the time, you see the prices, like the appraised value coming a little bit even higher, like from the get-go.
Right, exactly.
I mean, because they're just moving up so fast. So what would be 2 recommendations that you would give the clients if they want to start the process? Like 2 things that you think, like, man, if people only knew or did this before they started, like what would that be?
I think a big one is getting in touch with a lender, is speaking about your financials and knowing exactly what is feasible. So getting that information allows the client to feel more comfortable, and they feel more confident going into the home buying process. It can be discouraging if you go in and you fall in love with a home and it may be out of your price point, or it may even on the other end, it may be something that you didn't think you could afford, but with your partner's income or with additional sources of income, that they can be qualified for that amount. So speaking with a lender is really important for the buyer and for the builder, because it allows us to really move forward with that process.
Right.
And then also, I think another big thing is choosing the area that you want to live in. So there's so many areas of growth in Corpus. Corpus is such an expanding city. There's so many areas that are really becoming big employment areas and opportunities for jobs. So it's something to consider, is long-term, where do you want to see yourself living, and where is the best investment possible
to do? I think it's very important. I have seen a lot on the lender side. And this is like the biggest, it like literally makes me cringe. One, you get emotionally attached to the house.
Right.
I feel like when you start picking all your selections and everything, it's not just the investment money wise. It's like literally you have sometimes kids come and are like, oh, that's my room, and and then at the end not be able to fulfill that. I mean, that's harsh. Now, I've seen a lot of people lately that they actually are like, oh, I'm going to sell my house because I'm going to build a new one. And I'm like, okay, so are you approved? Oh, well, no, I'm going to sell my house first. Well, no, you don't want to be homeless. So do the process the way it is. I mean, sure,
be proactive.
There's a contingency. Do you guys work with contingencies? Like Definitely. If somebody would have has to sell the house, do you have any rules on that?
No, so we get people all the time. I mean, most people are either moving from an apartment to a home or from a home to a home. A lot of people are moving from a home to a home. So they need that funding to finance their next property. So a contingency is very common. We work with people like that all the time. So as long as the home sells in time for the new home to be ready, then it's to be a very smooth transition. And we work with realtors all the time, with lenders, to make sure that that process is very seamless, so people don't have to worry too much.
Right, exactly.
I think so much about home building and committing to buying a new house is people are fearful about these types of things, financing and not having a place, the timeline. But communication and being proactive can really alleviate all of this stress.
And I think one of the biggest things right now, because we're seeing so much, the interest rates are so volatile that a lot of people are like, oh my God, well, if I start building, what is the interest rate going to be? Later. Then. And I mean, I saw that 2 years ago, which, can you believe it's been already a year that rates went up? I mean, like literally I feel myself thinking, man, it was just yesterday I was talking to all these clients that you would
Mm-hmm.
say it's a 6%. What?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just like,
It's
I
the
mean, that's a
norm.
new norm.
Exactly. And it used to be the norm. And that's what a
Right.
lot of people fail to remember is before the pandemic, these were the rates that
Right.
people were having as well. So everyone gets used to that beauty of having a low rate. But now we're back to what we had before.
I mean, it was in 2007, which now I'm doing math, and you were probably what, like 10? That is just so sad. I'm like, I feel so old. But like in 2007, when I started the business, it was 8% interest rate.
Right. That's a lot.
I mean, and then they went back. So a lot of people literally think like, oh, they're never going to be back to the 2%. No, they were 2-3% before. I mean, it's just, it not just happened in 2020. It was like that before. So there are some stuff that sometimes people are not aware that you can protect yourself. I mean, there are long-term locks for interest rates. So you can do up to 180-day lock. Now, just to explain a little bit, because, then I'm going to get the calls and everybody's going to be like, oh, lock me now. No. So the interest rate, the longest the term of the lock, the higher the rate. Does that make sense? Yes. So like, let's say today is like 6.5. If I lock you for 6 months, it's probably going to be like 7.5 and it's going to cost money. Right. So is it very good to do that? I mean, you just really need to make sure that you go over the numbers and the payment, the mortgage payment, and make sure that it's going to make sense. And then kind of like go over what's the worst case scenario. Right. Like okay, so if the rates go up like 0.5%, how much is your payment going to change? Because that makes a lot of difference. I mean, I feel like people are worried about it, but it doesn't really make that much difference. And you can always refinance. So
exactly. And I think breaking down the payment to show exactly how much it is monthly with insurance, with taxes, and being super transparent is really important. That way people are prepared and nothing throws you off guard, I think and then if it's lower, that's great. Right. So it's important to be honest and transparent.
So what's the part of your job that you enjoy the most?
My favorite part is the end of the build. So
people, she's like, when I finish.
Not like that. Not it is, because it's exciting. People have been waiting months. Some people have been waiting longer because they reserved a lot. And some people have only been waiting a few weeks because they found a home that they loved. But it's very rewarding. That's what I'm in this business for. That's why we all love what we do, because it's a very rewarding feeling. You get the opportunity to build something from the ground up and see people get so excited. Right. Their kids are running in. People are very emotional. And it's a very exciting day for us to see people's vision come to life. So
and these houses are beautiful. I've gone to some open houses and they're like super modern. Like, I mean, they're like really, really pretty.
We try our best to really stay in tune with the newest designs, innovative technology, ways that we can incorporate designs that maybe other cities and growing areas are incorporating into their builds and bring that back to Corpus. And so I think people are starting to pick up on that, and we just want people to know that whatever style they're looking for, we can do it, regardless of your style.
Of what you're doing, yeah. So now let's talk about Azali Homes and the community. What are you guys doing? I know we are all like super involved in the community and everything, which I'm like, I can't wait to watch the game. I'm like, so, and Alexa, my daughter, too, is, so we were watching the Islanders game, the basketball, and I'm like, amazing. I cannot believe that they actually won. And so I was watching it, she's like, Mom, since when do you like college? And I'm like, dude, like it's a Corpus. It's like it's so like
school. It's amazing to see them do
so then
well. Like
they won, and I'm like literally like, oh my God, I think I want to cry. And she's like, Mom, you don't know anybody on the team.
Right, but it's just a sense of pride for the city.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's just so cute. And I went actually to one of their dinners, Ed Cantu, which he's always like with them. He invited me, so I was sitting down next to like the tall guy. Like literally, dude, his legs were like across. Like I was like
almost 7 feet tall.
I'm like, I'm sure he plays basketball. But yeah, it was super cool. So today at 1:45, no, not today. We're tomorrow. We're pre-recording. Sorry. So we should know if they won or not today, right? But I don't. So the community, how is Azali Homes involved with the community? What are you guys doing? What are you guys working on? Or
definitely. So at the moment, we are working closely with a nonprofit organization. It's Mission 911. They're a local organization that focuses on getting people out of the cycle of homelessness. So we worked on a lot of projects with them over the holidays, and then this year they're working on creating a new community center. And it's more going to be focused on case management. So getting individuals who are struggling with finding a home or are in a situation where they need rehabilitation, it's a facility where they can speak with a case manager and get direction on ways that they can pull themselves out of it.
That is super cool. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so we're excited about that. And then other areas within the community, a big thing we just want to focus on is educating people about home ownership. Is the more that people know, the less fearful they are, the more educated they are about how to start this process. Whether it's you're 18 years old or you're, in your 60s, it's never too late to get that opportunity to own a home. Yeah. And we never get taught that. No one ever teaches you in school, okay, the importance of your credit score, the importance of a mortgage, how to gain equity in properties. And correct. That's something that the more that we can do as a community or as a builder by educating the public, then we'll see more of homeownership in the future. And
that is very true. I had a young guy. He was, I think, like 20. Mm-hmm. He bought a house.
That's amazing. So I think the youngest homeowner I've seen is around 20 or 21. Yeah. And it's a huge accomplishment. And I tell them that. I'm like, you guys don't even realize how incredible this is.
Oh, and that one was like super sweet. The dad was here, and I remember when we got him approved, they were super happy. And then I was like, "Hey, let me take a picture." And she's like, "Oh my God, my wife is gonna get mad because she's not here." And I said, "Oh, we'll take a picture at closing too." And he's like, "Okay." They were so like, and it is very true. Unfortunately, I don't think that parents, and I mean, it's not because parents are bad parents, it's just because I think that they were not taught either. Right. But I mean, like it's very not common that back in the day people would tell you like, hey, make sure you save money, or right. Hey, make sure that you pay your credit card on time, or make sure that you do this. So it is very important that people understand that the process starts when you check your credit. Right. So that's literally where you start. And then you can be, I think they're mostly afraid of being told no. Mm-hmm. So when they start the process, they feel like you're going to be like, oh, your credit sucks. You're not going to be able to buy a house. And it's the other way around. It's like, oh, hey, we're going to help you work on your credit, and we're going to get you there.
You get to that point. Yeah. And right. It's not being afraid to start that process because of those reasons.
I had one time a client, and it was husband and wife, and this person, this guy that actually his daughter went to school with Alexa, and then he was like, oh, I'm gonna send her to you, like, I don't think she has ever applied. And so I'm talking to the lady. She had been renting for 30 years. Wow. In like literally the apartment. And I was like, why haven't you ever applied? She was like, I don't know, I just never had money in the bank, 740 credit score, like, literally the perfect loan. I'm like, like, you can't buy a house. And she's like, I never thought that I actually could. Like, people have this imagination of like, it's so hard, there's so much help out there that with down payment, with like a lot of stuff.
A lot of different types of loans to first-time homeowners, VA. There's so many different programs now that can help people make this a reality.
And the FHA, with the FHA right now, the mortgage insurance came down. Right. So it's cheaper. They actually push, I don't know if you heard, we were talking about the Robinhood tax rule that they're like, we were mocking it, but the government is putting out like extra fees on conventional loans. Okay. They were going to come in effect April 1st, and now they push it to August. Congress actually. Okay. Well, that's good. Yes, that's a very, very good. I'm going to make a video about it before. Well, okay, so Mission 911. That is super cool. Anything that they can, how can people get involved in it?
Yes, definitely. So we can share information on their organization. Since they are opening this new community center, it's going to take, support from the public to make sure that this gets done, as it is a nonprofit organization. So any funds that people can contribute will really help push the economy. The biggest thing is getting people who back in employment, getting people off the streets, allowing people to know that there is always a second chance out there, I think is motivating. So yes, I can provide that information.
And then I heard something about, I know Ventura was telling me that you are thinking about a new construction home buyer seminar.
Yes. Okay. So we would love to do something like that. There's, just based on what we're talking about, ways that we can educate people who are interested in buying a home. Doesn't even need to be the first time buying a home in general, but new construction. Answer all those questions. If anyone's interested, I'd love to help set something up, and we can do a seminar and share the whole step process on how to go about it, the different options, the different price ranges, all of that. So,
and I think that's great. So where can they find you, Sara?
Our model home, we're located off of Yorktown. The address is 4226 Azali Drive. And then you can always visit our Facebook or website page to set up an appointment.
Do you already have a street name?
A street? No, I do not have a street name, unfortunately.
So yes. I know who's the favorite kid
who's
then.
The favorite, exactly.
Yeah, because there's maybe a Cara Drive.
There is. Maybe I'll get there one day.
So, Cara, if you're listening, I know who's a favorite kid is in the family. Well, no, I don't think.
You know, my dad always says, we're waiting for something extra special for you. So like, you know what? There we go. I appreciate that.
I can just see like your niece getting a street name before you.
I think she might.
Oh my God. So, well, thank you so much for being with us. Do you have a website that you want to mention?
Yes. It's www.azalihomestx.com. And our Facebook page is very popular. So if you would like to take a look on the Facebook page, you can always like and follow our videos for more information about open houses and ways that you can come and visit our model home.
And if they want to call, where would they call?
Yes. Our phone number is 361-300-2868.
Oh, it's like an easy number.
Easy number.
So, well, thank you so much for being here. Again, guys, you need to just make that first step and just see what is it about. Like, I mean, it's not that crazy. It's not that hard to actually look into new construction, and the benefits literally overtake the process. I mean, the benefits of a brand new house, there's so much more. So you need to make that first move.
Yes,
okay.
Come see our model home.
Perfect.
We're happy to visit with anyone. So.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good day.
Bye, guys.